I was introduced to the job Why We Don't Visit Anymore by a friend and a colleague, Austin Lodlas. He introduced me to the director, Orok Duke, and the producer, Vyon. It was a beautiful one. The director actually gave me a lot of privilege and freedom to decide on a lot of things, choices of colors, combination props that we needed, the looks of almost all furnitures and all that. He gave me a lot of hands to decide all that. So that actually added to the value we got as an end result. So when I arrived set, I noticed the Palour, the paint was actually looking like a government secondary school, the yellow thing. The kitchen was worst, it had gone bad, the cupboards were already decayed. So we needed to revive or recreate the cupboards, the cabinets within the kitchen. We had broken ceilings, broken floors. The original paint in the room was green and yellow with yellow cabinets, and it was really looking awful. So we needed to change the cabinets, change the wall, and make the colors rhyme somehow. The director actually liked the paint in the kitchen. The green was fine, so we just needed to rebrand or retouch the green and make it come out. The ceilings too had lots of holes. We needed to patch that up too. And it was entirely empty, so we finally needed to just fill up everywhere. So on day one, we arrived, I, my set designer, we had a carpenter, we had a painter, we had an electrician, we had a plumber. We all went on set and I had to show everybody what to do based on the director's blockings and the camera's point of view. So Piers immediately swung into action by filling up or patching the larger holes. We had different sizes of holes. There were the ones that looked like machete cuts. There were the ones that looked like they were just broken off, kind of. So we needed to patch the larger holes with the plywoods we had, and then we patched the slim and the smaller holes with papers, white papers. So while Piers immediately went into patching the larger holes that we had, putting up the plywood using a gun tag. He used the gun tag to staple the plywood to the original ceiling board. So while he was doing that, I was also on the other hand trying to put top bond on a white plain paper, then stick that to the smaller holes or just the slim holes. And that's just how we had the whole ceiling patched up. So after the patching, I had a long list of props, both the stage props, the decorative props, the hand props that would be used all through the film on a list. So I tendered the list to the production manager and the continuity person and the director as well. And I was so blessed that every single thing on that list was provided, right from the biggest to the smallest. All were provided well as specified. That must have been a whole lot of budget. So we immediately dived into cutting the woods and then shaping them to sizes that can fit into the door spaces for the cabinets, and then maybe the top basement, the back, all the areas that were actually gone bad, and then give it some support within, so that if we want to put something on top, it can at least still be strong. It was just for temporary use, but at the same time, it has to look good. We also needed to create some kind of shelf where that's within the kitchen, where we can put pots or baskets or those kind of things that can easily be found in an old woman's home back in the village. And while this process was on in the kitchen, we had the electrician already swinging into action of beginning to wire the entire building, because we needed light everywhere. We needed light from outside, we needed light from within, all the different areas of the home. The room, toilet, kitchen, bathroom, sitting room, dining, all had to be lit up. But we didn't end there. We also had to go outside the building. We needed to light up the entire surrounding, so that the director was actually working with practical lighting. So he needed some ambient light that would spill in from windows, doors, or just some areas around the house. So we had to light up everywhere, rewire everywhere, including fans, install fans into the building, because there was no fan in that house, so we needed to bring in fans too. You can see We're right on set, so I want to take you guys on a journey, take you guys to how far we have gone. Yep, okay, so yeah, this is me, Frank Kabaseko, on the set of Why We Don't Visit Anymore. We also needed to create a walkway outside the building that will lead to the house, okay, that the characters will actually walk through and then arrive in front of the building. So first we created a pathway here, okay, so we created a pathway here. You can see that, yeah, blocked the first one. It needed to fit into the story. There was something there before, but that was not working with the story, so we had to cover that off and kill that totally out and create something new that would pass even under a tree branch, and then where they would have to bend, which is part of the storytelling. You have to bend through and then walk in. Then we created this. We have a branch here, so when they get here they would have to dug down a little bit and pass. Okay, so we created as a new pathway that we've created. We'll keep working on it. I think by the time people march through it today and maybe tomorrow, it's going to be very different. It would look very old. People would have killed the grasses. So let's go. So now we're in front of the building, okay? So this is it. Arrive right here. Okay. So also we had painting going on. We needed to change the color of the Palour from that shouty yellow to a dimmed color. We chose coffee brown because we wanted the walls to kind of disappear from the shot at some point. We didn't want the wall to distract or stand out. We just wanted to push the wall a bit into darkness and also to help costumes pop out. The room was also another point that we needed to change entirely because we had a lot of debate about this. Should we not, for budget reasons and all that. But along the line, we decided to change it because it was yellow and green, yellow up and green down. That just looked very awful. It wasn't looking good at all. It wouldn't work with anything. So we needed to change it to blue. We entirely changed the room to blue, and then the cabinets that were yellow before, we had to change the cabinet to ox blood, just so it can complement with the blue in the room, pop out, separate. Kind of. But for the kitchen was green originally and the director liked it, so we didn't need to change the color of the kitchen, but we just needed to retouch it, repaint it, and then make it look better than what it was before. Although while we were trying to do that, the color a little bit had some changes. It wasn't as deep as the previous green. It's always difficult to get back colors, but we tried. We still got green, and then just a bit I think I even liked the result later. I liked the fact that it wasn't that deep anymore, because that deep green just looked like it wasn't too good for me. So I think I actually liked what it came out later, the kind of green that came out later. I think that worked well for the scene, and I didn't have any complaint from the director in any way. With the cabinets, we had to change the cabinets to ox blood so that it can also pop out, just stand out from the green, not something that would totally blend. We needed colors to come out somehow. But you see, this house wasn't supposed to be new. So after painting the entire building and making it look fine and new, we had to go back and age the house, dirty everything, every single thing. We had to try as much as possible to mimic a dirty looking home. This home has not been painted in like how many years, so we just had to see where and where would have possible scratch, where and where would have possible bonds, where and where would have possible chalks or handwritings or something, or drawing. Kids also grew from that house, so we had to look for ways to balance all these things, and it worked super fine. We aged everything. On the doors we had to write a couple of things and then spray a couple of things on it, but just to make it look old, and I think we achieved a lot on that. No complaints. Okay, now this is what this place looks like. A home without lights now has lights. A home without lights. This is what it now looks like. We have this for now, this for now. We're going to still work on it. This is how much we've made it look old. Okay, this is what it looks like. We have This for pots, black pots. Okay, this for black buns. This is what it looks like. That's it for the kitchen. That's how much we have, how far we have gone. Alright, so we've refurbished everything here. We've transformed everything. We're still going to work on this, change the color for that. So we'll work on this, we brand everything, and then we can have a very fine kitchen. We still have a lot of things to do around there. So, okay. Now here is Palour. Here is the dining and the Palour. Okay. Yeah. This is the
progressing.
set designer.
You are moving forward. You are moving forward. We are doing fine. Yeah, thank you for staying with us.
Yeah. They've tried to stay with us. So we have light over there. We have so many things. All these have been done just within 2 days. All electrical. There was never light within these premises. Bad painting and everything. Now we have this. Okay, so this is what the room looks like. Still a lot to be done. See how dirty. After cleaning it off, we still have to dirty it. So, see what it looks like. Yeah, we're still working. We're not done. Trying to age everything. Don't touch. Okay, see what the windows look like. Okay. Yes, boss. We're going to be putting up. We'll paint all that, and then we just took out the protector just like that. We had to uproot this kind of protector from here, and we had holes there, so we patched it up, and we're changing this to a window, not a door, a window. We're changing that from a door to a window. So at this point, I was so pleased and satisfied that things are actually going this far. We now have our colors, our painted home. We have cabinets almost done. We have electricity almost done. We have almost everything on standby. So I started feeling good. It was more like it's coming to place. So now I had the confidence to go see what my props actually looked like, and I was wow. Everything was in place. Although not all way here right now, but they were coming. I was very sure that every other thing would be in place, because what was now left were just things we could actually buy within. So it wasn't impossible anymore. I was sure. We had tables, chairs, hand props, stage props, decorative props. I had a handful of props that I can actually work with. So we just moved everything in a truck and then filled everything in these sets, and we were ready for shoot.
And action!
So I had everything moved into sets. I took them bit by bit. I handled the Palour first because I knew that was where we were going to actually start shooting from. So I handled the Palour first. I put everything in place. All the wall props were intact. All the television, chairs, everything, carpets, all were coated. Curtains. We made everything. We fixed everything, and everything was set for shoot.
And action!
The room needed 2 small beds for the kids, so we positioned them just by the windows to match with the windows, more like falling symmetric, since the director actually loves symmetric, so we just had to apply that in that room. So we coated the floor with rock carpet, old brown rock carpet, because we didn't want any kind of popping or shouting kind of colors. So we went for a dim color, that's brown. We had artworks on the wall, including pictures. We had clothes that we hung at some point. The cabinet, we filled the top with some old boxes, you know, those old boarding house boxes. We mounted them on top of the wardrobe. So we also fixed clothes within wardrobes and all that. And as for the kitchen, well, we just lined up a number of props. I'm actually very excited that I got that kind of cooperation from the production team, that the director, production manager. I was very, very happy that I got the cooperation from them, because they made everything available, like including cutleries and all, small glass cups, everything was gotten. So I had enough to fill the set with. I wasn't lacking any props. So was the set. Everything was intact.